system,
Your world will never be the same again.
in television, something odyssey, a new dimension. Really? Only from Panasonic.
Graphic 16 from NEC.
4,000 games console.
Astro K, a professor exceeded. And alone.
326. Now get up to
CDI starting at $299.
Child video entertainment system. Hey, it's Chronologically Gaming, the only channel that's perpetually retro because we're playing every video game in order of release. We have showcased half of all the games in 1982, and we are currently just starting September of 1982. We were reading Analog Computing, which stands for Atari Newsletter and Lots of Games. Of course it does. Let's see what our next game is. It's time to go to the Commodore 64, but first, a word from Commodore.
Your job application. You've scored 6 million on the video game Munchman.
Ooh.
Yeah.
And I see you shot down 2 billion aliens from the planet Mongo.
Yeah.
You are good
Mongo?
at computer games. So what do you know about computers?
If you're going to spend your time playing video games, why not play them on something that can also teach you about computing? Get a
Ooh.
Commodore 64 or VIC-20. It's tough to grow up in a computer age without
Commodore
learning about
64 or VIC-20, and they're always hitting on, at least the few ads we've seen, that if you buy these computers, you'll get smarter. The other systems or consoles are just about gaming, but the Commodore 64 and the Commodore VIC-20 is where your kids will learn something more than anything else. So here we go. We are back on the Commodore 64, still brand new, and this is Ape Craze. This one shows you how big Donkey Kong is. Let's take a look at the box. Oh, look at that. Computer software. They are not even hiding anything. We got a giant ape throwing, bombs this time. Nice touch. This is by Data Computer House, and then an alternate box. Pretty sure this was the first available box. This looks like someone made it in their backyard. Most of the time, the computer games at home, this is what you got. I mean, look at that. Donkey Kong throwing barrels this time. Wait, is it bombs or is it barrels? I want to know. There we go, another example of the box, and this is going to be on cassette. So the tape to pop in to play some Ape Craze. And an example of the screenshot. Oh, by the way, the screenshot that we have is, there's one version that looks like this, which is just using the character graphics, but then there's a later one. So we'll be checking out a slightly later version, but it's possible Ape Craze also is like this at the same time. Let's take a look at the manual for Ape Craze. How do we play Ape Craze? If they explain Donkey Kong, like when we play other computer games and they're trying to explain Pac-Man, I wouldn't be surprised. Ape Craze is a game of skill in which the player must attempt to defeat the giant ape. This is accomplished by jumping up from platform to platform. Hey, sounds familiar. On the first screen to the escape hatch at the upper right, while avoiding the bombs being tossed down by the ape. So it is bombs. Upon reaching the escape hatch, you'll be transported to the second screen, where you must climb ladders from level to level, pull out the bananas that hold the structure together. When all the bananas are removed, the structure will collapse. So at least we have two screens they describe here from Donkey Kong. As you climb the second structure, the ape will release smart bombs. These will track and attempt to blow you up. Wait, so the ape or Donkey Kong has homing missiles now? So we have jumping that requires skill and take a little practice. To jump, simply press the fire button on your Commodore 64 joystick. Move right to left while in midair while moving the joystick. Jumping higher can be accomplished by moving the joystick up and pressing the fire button. And then we have climbing, moving up and down. We've used climbing plenty of times since we've had the pack variants that are out there, or panic variants, I mean. And then bombs, don't collide with them or land on a bomb. Do they say anything about fall damage? It doesn't say anything in the manual. And then score is determined by how rapidly you're able to get all the way to the screen. So we have yet another Donkey Kong variant. There's the loading instructions. Hopefully we don't have any problems loading. Yeah. It's time to pop in and play Ape Craze by Mike Blackman, published by Data Computer House in the beginning of September 1982. Yes, this one is... Donkey Kong is going to be all over the place. At this point, I believe we've seen 15 to 16 different Donkey Kong variants. And that's just the beginning. This is the cracked by Captain Blood version. Very nice. So if we have the joystick in, we should be able to just go. But can we just bask in this title screen? Look at what they're showing. It's a miniature version of the game happening in the background. That's a larger version of your character that you're going to be playing. I don't think they said who we are in the manual. It just said we're a guy, right? But they're using character sprites to show us our character zoomed up. We are the player. Okay, so we're just a player in the game. I don't know who that guy is. But those are the two levels. So we're seeing the two levels in the background. Nice touch. So it says we got to have our second joystick plugged in and go. All right, we're in. Okay, so right off the bat, if I move left and right, you can see the character looks slightly different than the first version of the game from the screenshots. If I want to go up a level, I'm going to smash my head against the railing. So if I want to go to the next level, I actually have to go around the top, like that. Oh, but there is fall damage. So it looks like if you fall past one level, then you die. It also feels a little bizarre having a character stare straight at you the entire time. How high can I jump? I almost went 2 times to the top. And now I'm wanting to know, where is the, where's the goal? They said I was supposed to reach something to get to the top right. Don't tell Pauline that it's Dirty Mario out here somewhere. But Pauline, I don't think we've even referred to as Pauline. She's only been referred to as the girlfriend, or the pretty girlfriend. Damsel in distress you're supposed to rescue. Yeah, the creepy smile isn't helping either. What song is that happening in the background? I'm looking over in the chat. I haven't seen anybody point it out. It's another public domain song, but I cannot pin it for the life of me. For the very first platformer on the Commodore 64, this one would still be fun. You have to admit, though, if you had friends that had the Atari with games like Manic Miner, you'd be jealous of that. Because this is the only thing you'd have on the Commodore 64. Oh, there you go. That's it. So it's only joystick 2 or in port 2 that works. All right, let's go again. So we already had a game over. Can't even get past the first screen. I don't see how we'd get up to where the ape is, or the ape Craze at the top. Our biggest enemy really isn't the bombs, it's the fall damage. If you fall past one level, then you die. But here's something else that's interesting. The controls are allowing me to change direction in midair. So watch this. I can actually go up to the left and then come back to the right. That's really, really rare right now. Of all the platformers we played, when you make a jump, you commit to it, and this time I can actually say, no, I want to turn back the other way. Oh, I didn't die that time. I wonder why. There are so many bombs, though. It is just raining down on us. So that'd be the only plus I can think of is the ability to be able to change direction in midair. Oh, and if the bomb touches you, you are done. So did this save? No, it doesn't. After 3 lives are done, or you're dead. That's it. And then you just start over at the beginning again. It'd be really difficult to go to the next stage. At this point, though, this would still be very fun on the Commodore 64. Compared to all the platformers you could be playing on a home computer, though, it's actually around average. Donkey Kong and Donkey Kong variants are still very, very fresh. Oh, see, now I can't change direction when I fall. I can jump, and if I take the jump, then I can change direction. But if I fall off the side, I'm committing to that fall. So, very strange. You have to remember if you've actually made the jump or if you've fallen off like this. See, if I fall off the side, you fall straight down. Or if you touch the bomb, you die. Wow, they should have added more lives because of how difficult it is to keep going. I wouldn't fault it, though, because taking a game that you love in the arcade, something similar to Donkey Kong, this would still be all right. Bear in mind that we have seen official Donkey Kong on the ColecoVision, which is brand new, and the Atari VCS. I say the Atari VCS version plays better than this one, and there's other platformers that have been better for home computer than this one, too. So I guess your mileage would vary. If you're a big Commodore 64 fan, it being just so new, I could see you defending this game, but it's a little rough. Can I touch? I can't even touch the bombs at the top? How in the world do you collect everything then? You'd have to be jumping whenever there's a lull in all the bombs at the top of the screen. Yeah, very, very tricky. It takes a little bit of time to get used to, but I do feel like I have some control over this character compared to some of the first platformers we've seen for home computers. It doesn't feel like I'm throwing a dart against a board, and I'm looking at you, Sir Egbert Jumper on the Coco. Oh, see right there? Missed the jump. Yeah, there are so many bombs. At least they're utilizing the color of the Commodore 64. I mean, look how colorful all the bombs are. It really puts Kaboom to shame. And I haven't seen in the chat, did anyone pin the song down of what's playing incessantly in the background? But hey, check out the jump movement. Look, I can go all the way around. Oh, I missed it. I tried to showcase a cool jump mechanic and it failed. So I can actually stand here, jump out, and then come back around like that. We haven't been able to do that on any platformers at all. There was one called Pickaxe Pete on the Odyssey 2 that gave you a little bit of control, like you could duck in midair or slide. But to be able to control the jump after you've made it is really slick. So the difference between this version that we're seeing here and the first one, we're playing right now the tape version of Ape Craze. It's possible that the disc version of Ape Craze was the example in the screenshot earlier. Yeah, I can't pin it. It sounds like something from the Old West. I know it's public domain. Everyone's grabbing public domain songs still at this point. Okay, so here we go. I think we got it. The whole point of this first stage is, can we get or collect all of the zeros, is the best way to describe that. Oh, see, if you hit the side, then you fall off the edge. There's been worse controlling platformers, but this doesn't do enough justice for the good ones we've already seen out there. So I gotta say, of all the games you can be playing on a home computer, platformers are still unique and something really special, but this one still falls around the average range of all the other games you could be playing. Of course, the very first platformer on the Commodore 64 is a Donkey Kong style game. So yeah, take a look at the bombs at the top. Let's see if I try... Is there any stopping of the bombs? Does the ape just continue to throw them? Because I wonder if I get anything for trying to get up there and touching or jumping at the ape. Does it count to do that? We have to find out. Alright, let's see if we can. Oh, that's so tricky with a jump. Okay, I got that one. Let's see if we can go up here. Alright, now see if I can make this one. If I go around... I got it. Oh, he got me with a bomb. So you can see, if you do get the hang of it, you have a little bit more control than some of the other platformers, and I believe this is one of the very first platformers of all the platformers we've ever seen that gives you the ability to change your jump's trajectory after you've done it. Look at that jump. That's insane. Alright, let's see if we can go higher. Oh, yep, no, it won't let me go past because the bombs keep falling all over the place. And look, this one's stuck. Yep, it's stuck right by it. That's so tricky. Oh, the zero in the top right. Okay, let's try that one. Going for the top right now. Alright, let's go this way. Did we do it? We got it! Victory! I think the other ones, then, the pick up all the items must have been for the... Oh, this is great, we're on the second stage. Thanks for the tip. Now this one feels more like... It feels almost like we're playing a Panic variant, honestly. With the enemies coming... And we have another public domain song in the background. Man, this game has so much to it. And I touched the... on the end. Too bad. Notice there was no cutscene between this stage and the last one, too. All we had to do is touch a random flashing thing, a very small flashing icon from the first stage to get to the second one. Alright, and the bombs, I think these are the ones they're talking about as the sentient bombs or following us. Yeah, look, there's a yellow one that's following me now. It's tracking my location and coming to me. So they're really not bombs. It's more like they're ghosts. Oh, but if you fall down the gap, then you get the fall damage. Oh my gosh. It's such a small gap. Now, do we get to start? No, we don't. Yikes. Alright, well the second stage though, I actually should have opened with that one. It actually felt a little easier than constant bombs like this. Than the other one. Wow. Yeah, so we went for 2 stages of Donkey Kong, and compared to what the manual says, that's all you get. So there you go. That's Ape Craze on the Commodore 64. I was starting to get the hang of it, get the feel of how the jump mechanic works. And at this point, every platformer is going to be a treat, and it's going to take a little bit of time to get used to. But I still got to say, of all the games you could be playing on a home computer, it's still around average with the way that you move your character, the jump mechanic, and because there's a little clunkiness in getting used to how, when you fall and when you're able to jump. There we go. That's right. Turkey in the Straw. That was one of the public domain songs. The first one, though, I couldn't pin what the first one is. So if you know what that one is, give me the heads up. Yes, maybe he is. Victor's going Coaster Game. I wouldn't be as harsh because platformers are still really cool, especially when you want to play something like Donkey Kong, and this is what you had to play at home. Unless you had an Atari VCS or the brand new ColecoVision. All right, so after Ape Craze, let's see what our next game is. Speaking of the Atari VCS, let's go and see what's up with Armor Ambush. This is the latest by Mattel on your Atari, starting with the box. It's M Network. I believe this is our 5th M Network game on the Atari VCS. Armor Ambush is yet another M Network game that was originally on the Intellivision. You know this as Armor Battle, and here it is. Finally, you can play Armor Battle on your Atari. Everyone's got to come over to Atari. We flip it over on the back. This is 2 players, 2 skill levels. Each player has 2 tanks. It's combat, why did they bring this over here? Because when we played Armor Battle on television, that was because we didn't have combat on a television. But we have combat. And now, why would you want this one? That's the question. Simulated battle sounds, visuals, cannon fire, yes, yes, yes. And I don't believe there's any other game modes except tank mode. Let's see what other artwork we have for Armor Ambush. Oh, yes, we have the actual scan box and then the reconstructed box. Ooh, nice and fresh. Cruddy. Nice and fresh? Cruddy. I actually prefer the cruddy one. Looks very nice. Same with the back of the box. We got a reconstructed one as well. And then we also have the cartridge. And the M Network or Mattel cartridges looked very different. Most of the third-party publishers did something to make their cartridges look different than everybody else. Yes, Victor, I'm totally with you. Cannonball Blitz means everything else is going to be less. That's why I'm giving it 3 stars. It's going down low. Curtis is going 2.5. Yes. Yeah, I guess for the 5 people, yeah, that didn't buy combat, everybody had combat on the Atari. All right, there we go. An example of the screenshot, too. We also have the manual. I don't think we need to know how to play the game. We're pretty familiar, but we'll take a look at it for nostalgia's sake. Oh, look at that. M Network manuals. I believe this is 2 players only, so if you don't have a friend, you can't really play this one, like I'm going to do tonight. The object of the game is knock out enemy tanks while avoiding hits on your tanks. You ambush the enemy, swing into position, and fire. 3 hits and your opponent's tank blows up. Each round of the battle takes place on different battlefield. At the start, both players have 25 tanks. Game's up when either player loses all 25. 25 tanks? That's too many. You and your opponent are rival tank commanders. You have 2 tanks per round, total of 25 in the game. The switch command allows you to go from tank to tank, keep your opponent on the run. And this mechanic is kind of similar to a game we played called Laser Battle back in the arcades in the 70s, where you were able to switch the tanks out or switch yourself out. But Laser Battle is even cooler because that one allowed you to leave the tank in the arcade, go to another one, like you actually walked around as a blip. This one, all it does is switch it out. Really simple. Yes, under $50 if that was true. At least you don't have to buy an add-on like the Supercharger. Use the joystick control for this game. That is the way to hold it. Got it. And they're even explaining how to control the tanks right here using your Atari VCS joystick. Maneuver for fire position. Press the fire button for, oh yes, and it recoil. It's going to do that just like Armor Battle on the Intellivision. I didn't enjoy that as much. Let's see what it's like on the Atari VCS. So you got the difficulty switch to go back and forth. And then when you start the action, game reset like you do on the Atari. And you have the battle map. Press the red button to select the map. Okay, nice. So when you begin the game, I guess you can't change between lives. It has to be 25 lives. Press the red fire button to maneuver tanks and fire. Bring up the new map after one player's lost. And then it has the tips and tricks. I love manuals. One reason is I wanted to see what games had to say then, because you could take my word for it, but I try to get the show to have the feeling like we're in 1982 experiencing these for the first time. But it's very difficult to do that. The best way to do it is here, the manual. Reading the manual. They'll tell you what it was like. All right, we have other versions, I believe. Yeah, it was published by Telegames. For PAL regions, let's go to the United States and play Armor Ambush by Hal Finney of Mattel Electronics in the beginning of September 1982. Oh, there we go. We're in. So here we go. We can just do reset, and I believe we just say with red button, yeah, it goes to the first round. So I don't have a second player to play with me. You have to have two, but I do have two joysticks that I'll plug in, and I want to be able to switch tanks. Yeah. And you can even do your other, your second player can be plugged in and move as the blue tank, and we're playing as the red tank. First thing that captures me, if you remember Armor Battle on the Intellivision, it didn't really have a straight top-down view like Combat. It was kind of a diagonal down view, or not a straight top-down view. It had a really cool art style. This one does not. This one feels more like we're playing Combat, almost bare bones Combat, at least the way it looks. There's my 3 hits. Boom! Blow them up. And do we even have the ricochet mechanic? I don't think so. They didn't even give us all the game options. The manual didn't have all the options Combat had. So in a way, this feels like we're going back. Why get the game when you already have Combat, which has multiple game modes and ways you can play? This does have different maps. You can see we moved on to the second one, but there's more that you could be doing. You should have Combat on your system, so I wouldn't imagine Mattel made a lot of money on this one. All right, I'll actually play as the second player now and get back at him. Combat did only have 2 players. You couldn't play with yourself either, so you had to have someone else in the room. But it was more robust. There's really not too much to it because after we've read the manual, this is it. It does go stage to stage and you get a little thing to look at, but it doesn't even look as good as the Intellivision because at least the Intellivision changed the viewpoint a little bit. They are changing the terrain up. You know, you see water, bridges, and trees. Yeah, it's very much a meh kind of game. It does get the job done as far as a tank game or vehicle combat game, but there's really not too much to it. Doesn't sound the same too. That's right. Yeah, I'm with you, Joshua. I think that's the same fire shot. I guess you can't license a sound from Combat. Yeah, that's true. Maybe we can. At this point, we should have an AI player that comes in. Due to some of my local internet connections, that's one of the reasons we haven't had guests on, be able to get upload speeds to send the signal for people to play games. I have sent invites out. I'm hoping to have some guests when we get a better connection for internet here. But in the meantime, Armor Ambush is still, even if someone was here, it's very similar to what we played. It's worse than Armor Battle, and it's not as good as Combat. So I still got to say around the average range of all the games you could be playing on the Atari VCS and home consoles. Of all home consoles, this is actually all right for a tank game, but there's better ones out there. So I'm to say 3 stars. And another 2.5 from Errol. Yes, tanks for playing. There's not too much more it's doing. I wouldn't want to fault it too much because it does play all right. You could say 2.5, maybe 3 stars, but around the average range for all the games you could play on a home console. With the ColecoVision out there, that's really changing the curve. It's setting a new standard because everything so far on the ColecoVision has been gold. At least for home console. Yes, maybe. Oh, 1 star for each player. Nice touch, Mikey. All right, with that, let's see what our next game is. Time to go to the United Kingdom and play on the Dragon 32. This is Astroblast. Astroblast is one we've already seen. Oh, look at that. We have cooler artwork, though, on the Dragon 32. We've already seen this one on the Coco in July of 1982. And here it is, Astroblast. Very, very cool box. Do we have any other artwork for Astroblast? I believe that's it, with an example of the screenshot. All right, so it's only thing we got to do now is pop it and play. This is by Ron Krebs of Mark Data Products, published by Dragon Data in the beginning of September 1982. So this one, again, I got to do a quick change in hardware to get it to go well for us, or load well for us. This one's going to be on cassette in machine language. Nice. Okay, so you can pick the color, which is kind of a nice touch. I was told that on the Dragon 32, it only worked in black and white, but you can see they give us the option of buff or green, which is going to look just like the Coco. So just for fun, we won't do the black and white. Let's do buff and play. There you go, Mark Data Products. High-res action. Is every game high-res? I can use my joystick and select what skill level I want. Let's go ahead and go with Astro Pilot since we played this one before. And we're in. Oh, look, it looks like the Coco in buff mode, actually. That looks that looks exactly like the Coco. Maybe they'll let us switch out the color when we die again. So this one looks familiar. We've seen this one already in the arcades. It was known as Astro Fighter in November of 1979. This is a very well done way to play Astro Fighter at home. Astro Fighter was essentially just a variant of Space Invaders. You can see we have aliens coming down slowly, then they change up. Starfield slowly coming down in the background, similar to Galaxian. All I got is left, right, and fire, I believe. Yeah, that's it. Can't move any other directions, and one shot at a time. We even have fuel at the top, and that's pretty much the timer. There is no fuel collecting. I love that, though. Look at that. Whenever I get hit, I don't immediately explode. It switches the screen back and forth between color modes. So you did get a taste of what it looks like in black and white. Oh, there we go. Thank you, Curtis, for the color breakdown. Maybe I shouldn't have picked buff, because I think this one looks exactly like the Coco that we've already played. And we're on the Dragon 32. Oh, what happens if he reaches the bottom? Is that game over? I can't hit him. Oh, maybe it just loops around. Look at these slow-moving Starfield in the background. Very nice. Oh, man. If you don't take them all out, then you just have to start over again. So make those shots count. Fuel's not looking good because I'm taking too long on this stage. Yep, fuel exhausted, and the ship is destroyed. Remember when you forgot to fill your gas tank up and everything blew up? All right, let's go with Space Cadet. Yeah, it picks the same color mode. Thanks so much, Curtis, for the info in chat. Yeah, I dig the switching of the color whenever you get hit. I also love that you don't immediately explode. You actually, it feels like you have some health on your ship. There we go, looking good. Because this one definitely looks, and plays a lot like the one we played on the Coco, I'm going to rate it the same. Whether you play on the Dragon 32 or the Coco, it's very average considering the other shooters and video games you could be playing. So about 3 stars is what I'm thinking so far. Oh yeah. It's classic, it's fun, and it works very well. You would enjoy this on the Dragon 32. Okay, looking good. If I can get missiles to stop firing at me. There we go. Nice. And can we take it out? Nice. There we go. Cool. Oh, here we go. Excellent. I'm not able to control anything. Am I just docking? Yeah, there we go. I wasn't able to control the docking situation. So I remember in the arcade you would be able to move your ship and try to line it up, but it just was more like a cutscene. We just watch the ship go into the docking station and then refuel, and you have a good time after that. That's what it felt like, except I wasn't controlling it. I was using the Force. All right, so there you go. That's Astro Blast. Of all the games you could be playing on a home computer, it's still about average. I say about 3 stars. So what do you say? About the same as the Coco version, 3 stars? 3.5 here from Curtis Boyle. Oh, yes. That's true. We had the color for we had the option for different colors if you wanted to, so I happened to pick the one that looked like the Coco, but there was other ones. But I've heard that the Dragon 32 only could play in black and white, at least from one source, but it looks like that's not the case for this one. Oh, yes. 3 stars as well. Victor's going 3. Yeah, I'll hit it up as 3 stars for everything so far. All right, time to move to our next game. We're back on the Atari home computer, and this is Astro Warriors. Oh man, Astro Warriors, I'm not familiar with this one, but this one's cool. Let's start with the box. This is by Apogee Software. Haven't seen a lot from them. The cassette version, and you need 16K, only 16K. On your Atari 400 or 800. The front of the box really doesn't do much. It actually feels like we're playing a child version of a space game, like they were put together with Legos. Flip it over on the back, we can see it's a fast action player versus player game of space combat. Realistic gravity, use of Atari graphics and sounds. Isn't that how you want all your video games to look and play or sound? Yeah, up to 4 players though. 4 players, 4 skill levels, and then simple joystick controls. It makes it sound like a kid's game then. And we have an ad that we would have seen in magazines at the time with the same artwork. Challenge your friends or neighborhood aliens in an out-of-this-world game of skill and daring. Attack with photon missiles, protect yourself with shields, maneuver with your thrusters, or enter hyperspace. So cool. Oh, Apogee. So we do have some Apogee fans out there or know about Apogee. Very nice. Nice shout out, man. I love it. There's the cassette. If you have the cassette version of Astro Warriors to play, with an example of the screenshot, I think I kind of gave it away in the screenshot. Let's take a look at the manual for Astro Warriors by Paul H. Smith. Way to go, Paul. You are an Astro Warrior in a multiplayer game of space combat. You can maneuver your Astro Cruiser with thrust and rotation controls, attack with photon missiles, protect yourself with shields, and even enter hyperspace to escape enemy fire. Your mission is to rid the heavens of enemy Astro Warriors, your friends, neighbors, or relatives. The best kind. And become Master of the Universe. Whoa, pump the brakes, man. Master of the Universe. So this one only needs 16K with cassette recorder if you have the official Atari 410, and then joystick. And it shows us how to get started. Hold down start, press return to begin loading, and if that fails, try again. I love the troubleshooting. If it fails, just try again. That's all we got for you. After it loads, you can press start on your Atari home computer. And then it's a 2-player game for cadet in free play mode. And we have the option to do free space with no obstacles, asteroid, solar orbit, black hole, and then what kind of speed we want. And then you can do up to 4 different players. 4 players. Now, is it at the same time? We've seen 5- and 6-player games on the Atari and other home computers, but it's alternate play. That's the trick. So they're explaining how to control this. This control is very similar to asteroids. Clockwise rotation, counterclockwise. Forward is your thrust, and then if you pull back on the joystick, that's your shields. Kind of like you're playing Asteroids Deluxe. And then we have photon missiles when you press the red fire button. That's how you fire them. And I think it's just a normal shot. Yeah, that's it. Hyperspace is maneuver your Astro Cruiser off screen. So if you fly off screen, that's the hyperspace. It flies you to a different place. And then it has energy and then repairing your ship. Androids constantly begin repair of damage. And then you can also, you also may be damaged by photon missiles, collision with other ships, impact with the sun. Hyperspace is entered with insufficient energy reserves. Oh, so if you go into hyperspace, you actually use up energy. You have to be careful before you do that. And then it shows all the different ways you can be damaged. Man, this is a lot for a asteroid style game, or the way it controls, and being able to play with 4 people. So you can see display is there, showing you the portion of the universe. Nice. There's no screenshot though. All it is text telling you what's going to happen on the screen. And then scoring, got to know what the scores are with game hints. Great manual, but not as impressive because there's no pictures. It's just explaining what it is with text. Maybe it will deliver in other places. So we get just one version to play. Let's pop in Astro Warriors by Paul H. Smith, published by Apogee Software at the beginning of September 1982. Ooh. That's pretty good. That's it. That's how you deliver some music. We always hear something really good every now and then on the Atari home computer thanks to that Pokey chip. That was very well done, and I couldn't pinpoint if that was original or done before. It sounded like something from Flash Gordon or an old serial television show. Marshall's shouting out, "It's the Pokey chip!" Yeah, it's given us the best music so far. All right, so if we want to switch this up, we can hit P. Oh, look at that. 3-player simultaneous play. Or hit P again on the keyboard. 4-player simultaneous play. And the ship looks really similar to an asteroid ship, you know, the triangle design. This is really going to be very familiar to when we played Asteroids on the Atari home computer because it allowed 4-player play. So let's see what other options we have. If we push select, that's the speed. We have rookie, pilot, ace, cadet, okay? And then if we do option, that allows us to do different styles of gameplay. We have an asteroid, we got a solar orbit, we got a black hole, and we have free space. Okay, so I'm going to switch this up and just go We can do a one-player game. Wait, does that mean they add... Let's just do a one-player free space and see what happens. And then hit start. What? Is this like training mode? So I'm the only one here. There's no objective or points. I mean, it must be a practice to get used to your ship. But we played Asteroids. We know how it works. Yeah, okay, let's switch it up. Let's go ahead and add another player. I got my second joystick plugged in. Free space means nothing's happening. Let's switch it to Asteroid and go. Oh, this is pretty slick. Oh, is that it? Once they do the shot, it keeps track of your score at the bottom. Nice. What happens if we shoot the asteroid? Oh, it's just an obstacle. It's like a wall when you're playing a gunfighter game. Not too fair because obviously there's no one else here. I'll take control of the other joystick and go as the green character. Nice. So hyperspace, if you crash into the other player's ship, you die too. Nice. So we can fly off the screen. It'll warp us to a new spot. And we have energy displayed at the bottom. That's the orange bar or yellow bar. Every time you use shots or hyperspace, you're using up energy. And you're just supposed to destroy the other person. This is another example of kind of a hidden genre of video games that I refer to as the dual shooter. As in you're doing a duel with someone else or playing. But this one allows you to have more than just 2 people to go against. You can go up to 4 different people. Yeah, this is a big shout out to old school gaming. This is like Space War that we're able to play at home. And here's the clincher. Let's do this. Let's change it up and let's do 4 players, even though all 4 aren't here. You can play at the same time. And instead of an asteroid in the middle, let's make it solar orbit. Now watch what happens whenever we do this. Watch, everyone sucks in to the sun. Look, I think solar orbit's the fastest one. So I've only control of one person. Does we not get any score if everyone dies? Wow, yeah, the gravity's really strong with that one. Okay, let's try it again with black hole. How strong is black hole? Yeah, same. But you can't see it. It just pulls you in. Let's change it up with 2 players and black hole. Oh, yes, nice. So this is the very first time that you could play a Space War game, like we saw in the arcade, and of course before that on mainframe, but allow you to have 4 people at the same time. This is the very first game that you could do that. That's incredible. They're even incorporating the physics from the game. There is no other example of a 4-player Space War game like this. The only one that comes close is Asteroids that we saw, but it didn't allow this, where you can add the black hole or the sun in the middle. That's so cool. Yeah, so it has the gravity option if you want. You don't have to do that. Yeah, if we just do free space, then you can fly around and shoot, or go off screen and do hyperspace, or I guess warp around, whatever you want to call it. That's incredible. When we saw the Asteroids version, it was on in August 1981. And when we saw that game and played it, I would consider it 5 stars. It was a really, really good home computer game. This is still really impressive to be able to do 4 people at the same time and shoot each other or shoot human beings. It's great. Yeah, I like Manly's review. Impressive, yeah, for a tried and true game. I'm with you on that. I call this a momentous occasion. While I can't demonstrate all 4 people going at once, you can see what it would be like. It would be a lot of fun. So I have to go even higher than that. I gotta say, this is one of the best games you could play on a home computer. The 4 people at the same time being able to control or play like Asteroids. Now, the Asteroids aren't on the screen like the Asteroids version. That if you want to play that one, it does have the asteroids flying around. But this one allows combat, where you to fly around and attack each other. Yeah, physics going 4 stars as well. Oh, the stars are slightly flickering in the background. Yeah, I have to go 1 notch above. I'm going to have to say it's one of the best games you could play on a home computer so far. At 4 people at the same time, really what clinches it. So I'm going to go 4.5 stars of everything, so of all the home computers. Going even higher than that. All right, so after Astro Warriors. Yeah, oh, party game. That's another good idea. Love it. And it is true, you could call this concept old because it's Space War, but Asteroids is still pretty fresh. Still in around the September of 1982. Marshall's going 4.5. Yeah, and also because of the name of the game, Astro Warriors, most people may not have picked it up. But highly recommend it, especially if more people to play with. All right, after that, let's see what our next game is. Time to go to the TRS-80, and this is atom splitting. We're going to start with the box. Atom splitting. Never heard of this one. The front of the box, though, makes me feel like it's by Electronic Arts, but we haven't seen Electronic Arts, and I don't know what I'm talking about because that's in the future. But doesn't it have that feel like it's the front of a record? Really, really sharp. Got some pseudo 3D graphics. This is from AIM Software. Flip it over on the back. Shrink down to microscopic size. Come, look at the molecules. Now, shrink further. Look at the atoms. There. Now you're the right size. The right size for atom splitting. That's atom splitting, that is. It's a game based on the essence of science. Is it educational? It is not. You control Atom Smasher, and you got to split as many atoms as you can. You're going to split atoms in a video game? That's crazy. Victor says it screams shovelware. Shovelware? EA is not around yet. I'm speaking way too soon. There is no Electronic Arts. Forget I said anything. Do we have any other artwork for atom splitting? Well, we have the cassette tape that you pop in and play. Sadly, this game on the 3 different databases and places that I go to look for games has the artwork, but not the game itself. So we are not able to play this one. It is a game that is not found. If someone finds the game or allows us to play the game, we'll come back and re-rate it, but I'm going to have to give it down in a 1-star range. I'd love to check out atom splitting, but sadly, we don't have it. Where is atom splitting? Let's keep going. Time to go to the United Kingdom and play on the BBC Micro. Let's play some Barrage. Starting with the box. Oh, another one by Program Power. The front of the box artwork, I really can't tell exactly what's happening. It looks more like a siege. It is army-based. If you saw this, you wouldn't really know what exactly you're doing in the game. War, fighting, attacking, bombing, shooting. It doesn't make it... I know, Marshall, it's so sad. If anyone does find the game, though, let me know. And we also get an example of the screenshot. Here we go. Let's pop in and play some Barrage by P.R. Cox and S. Burrow, the beginning of September 1982. Too cool. We get a cutscene opening. I love it. We've already seen Pinball Constructions. Wait, no, the first one, not the Electronic Arts Pinball Construction set. So the newer one, the one I think you're thinking of, Errol, hasn't come out yet. All right, so what size do we want our armies on either side? Let's do 10 on each side. Don't panic. Calculations are in progress. This one is another artillery game. If you're a fan of strategy or artillery, this is the way to go. You get random environments that get drawn just like this. At this point, we played about 15 different artillery games, including the ones on MS-DOS and the Commodore VIC-20. All right, so what do you got to do? I start on the left side, I believe, picking the angle. I usually start with 45, and then how much power? Let's try 50, and go. Yeah, left side. Very nice. So they show the full arc. Most of the artillery games we played so far show just a single pixel that flies across the screen. Okay, now we're on the other side. Let's do 45, and let's try 70. Where's that one going to go? Oh, we got to calculate with the wind, too. 35 mile an hour. So it blew us to the other side. Notice also it's changing the terrain. Oh, so cool. So let's see. Though they saved it. Last time we did 45 and 50. Let's do 45 and 60. Ready, go. Wind didn't take us far enough. I think, is wind changing every time, or is it the same? I love how the terrain is destructible, too. So it's the same trope we've seen before. We're going to see artillery variants for a long time. One of the best ones at this point would be the one on MS-DOS. Very classic and works really well. This one's fantastic. This one has the arc showing all the way across. I like that. All right, let's do 45 and 85. Go. Oh, so close. We hit one of the enemies, though. Location of 4, and it makes a giant crater right behind them. So cool. Okay, so let's do another side, 45, and let's do 70. That should hit him. I think the wind... Oh, no! Did it blow me up because it was too... Because we fell down a little bit in the crater. Interesting. And the left army has been annihilated. Yes, and we haven't seen Scorched Earth yet. So many artillery, already 15 here on the show, and then we haven't even seen Scorched Earth yet. Another war? Yes. Yes, we would. For some barrage. This is the very first artillery variant you could play on your BBC Micro. And as far as in the United Kingdom, you already had a few options that you could play. But this one's a very well done one. Yeah, you want to call it. There it is. PR Cox and S. Barrow. All right, let's do it again. 10 and 10 to get us going. Nice. The graphics, yeah, I like the touch of the explosion. Random environments is a good touch too. We get wind coming back at us. Let's do 50-degree angle going. Let's do 60. Oh, yep, not even enough on the left side. And if you can't see at the bottom, I'm kind of covering the other side. But if you look at the other side, it's just showing you how many people you got left on either end. Okay, so let's go ahead and shoot this way up high. Let's do a 70 angle. Give me 80. Let's see what happens. Nope, not even high enough still. Great game to play with a friend. It is a really bare bones tactical game. You just pick an angle, pick some power, and then you just keep going back and forth, doing the messing up and realizing what you did, and then fix it next time. Works really well. All right, let's do angle of 60 and 70 with that wind. Come on. No, hitting the same part. Going down. And notice the number at the bottom keeps changing because every time you fire, you're lowering your numbers. Oh, that's true. The redraw's a little slow. It wouldn't be as big a deal on the Beeb, though. You would be all right with it. Atlas is late for Ape Craze. Don't worry, there's always the VOD. All right, let's do 70 and 95. Come on, way up there. Go, go, go. Missed it. The arc is really what hits this home. Even though on MS-DOS and most of the artillery variants, we don't have that full arc that shows your shot. I like it. All right, let's do 60 and 80. Will that be too far? Let's see. Oh, just barely. Yeah, another game tonight that you would want a friend to be putting in or trying it, because playing it by yourself wouldn't be as fun. I'm still having fun. Showing off the games is a lot of fun. So for artillery variants, still having a good time. Same trope that we've seen, and we're going to see a lot more artillery variants. I love this, love how well it plays. I'm going to have to go slightly above average for all the games you could play up to this point. I'm going to say 3.5 stars for everything so far. Tactical strategy games, it works very well. Artillery games, there's only one other artillery game we gave it as 3.5 stars, but still good fun for the time. Errol's going 4.5. I see Curtis with 3.5. Yeah, that's true. You rate it differently if you had a friend around. Joss is going down to 2. Gotta have a friend for most of the games. All right, and with that, let's see what our next game is. It's time to play on the Emerson Arcadia 2001, or one of the myriad of other names that you could call this system. We're going to do the one that was called in North America, and this is baseball. Let's play some baseball. Here you go. Actual scan from the Emerson Arcadia 2001. It's the console that just keeps trying really hard, but not able to deliver as much. Nice artwork on the front. The Arcadia is doing very similar artwork on their box like Atari and Intellivision. Showing off something really cool. Flip it over in the back, and I think this is the back's reconstructed with a couple screenshots, but didn't have an actual scan of the back. I don't even know what they're saying for the artwork. Do we have anything else besides the box? We also have, oh yeah, check this out. That is the console. There's the controller. Looks really similar to the Intellivision. It also has the number pad and overlay like the Intellivision. It's going to be helpful because baseball, man, just look at that controller. That's what you'll be playing or holding in your hand to play baseball. And then, of course, the cartridge you're going to be popping in on your Emerson Arcadia. All right, the manual, ladies and gentlemen, you got to have the manual for this. This is very similar to other baseball titles that we've seen, specifically Major League Baseball on Intellivision. If you don't have the manual, you'll have no idea what to do. Yeah, right? All good. Okay, so the game objective is Ready, swing and bat. It is a high ball which is out of range. The crowd roars as you make a home run. You've just scored another point for your team. Now it's your turn to defend. Pitch fast, slow, or curved balls out with the batter, but don't forget that 4 wild balls count as a penalty against you. That's pretty much what baseball is. The aim of the game is to score more points than your opponent. Yes, it's baseball. You control a baseball team comprising 9 players. Each team takes turns playing offensive and defensive roles. This one you have to play again with 2 people. Should have had a guest tonight to play with me. Defending side has 3 outfielders, 1 infielder, 4 base catchers, and a pitcher. Very, very impressive for the time. 1 point is awarded for each home run scored. When a player is around all 4 bases, the game consists of 9 innings. The number of ball strikes and innings is shown on the screen. So they're only represented by B, S, I, and O. And when a pitcher throws a wild ball, it's flagged as a penalty. They're breaking down the rules of baseball, basically. And then what strikes are, innings, and outs. If you make 3 strikes, got it. So it's the rules of baseball, if you're not familiar. To get started, plug in your antenna cable and AC power adapter to the Master Console in accordance with the instructions. Now, it says this is the Master Console instruction, or MPT, and this was the Arcadia 2001, I believe, in Australia, is what they called this system. This is the manual that we got. That's how you insert the cartridge. Ooh. At this point, I don't know if you were blowing into the cartridges to get them to work. Maybe if they're brand new, no. Place the baseball inlay plates onto the remote hand controller. That means you cannot play this game without the inlay. All pitching, batting, and throwing and running are controlled by pressing the corresponding button. They are all controlled with the keypad. You don't really do that much with the joystick. It's very sad. So here's the overlay. I don't know how well you can see that. We have the control at the top to move the slow ball, fastball, and pitch. But then look at all the controls. It's very similar to Major League Baseball on the Intellivision. You have swinging the bat, ready in the pitcher, running into the base. Lots of different options. Very, very complicated. This is another game that you cannot play through emulation or play it correctly unless you have the system. You have to have this console, you have to have the controller and the overlay to really get the full experience of what it's like to play baseball on the Arcadia 2001. So you switch on the Master Console and the field appears on the screen. Left controller controls the green team, right controller controls the red team. I'll be plugging both into play. And then when you press the clear button, game's cleared. Press the game start button. This is on the console. And then a tone tells you, and all the players march out on the field to start playing. It shows you where everybody is, pitcher, catcher, and then the controls and how it works. Now, this baseball game is almost too complicated. I know in television, you could argue that was the same idea, as too complicated too. This one makes me want to play the Super Baseball, the one on the Epoch, the very simplistic version of baseball, just because of how complicated this one is. When the batter is ready, the batter, or whoever's playing as the batter, hits the ready button on their controller. Once they say ready, it makes a blip sound. Once the bip sound happens, then the pitcher can pitch the ball. So you cannot pitch until the batter states they're ready. That's the first cue. And then it shows you how to do pitching. You can do 4 different options. And then after that, it shows you the rules for striking and batter out and 4 balls. And then it shows you how to do the catching, throwing, and running the ball in. Lots of controls. You have to do all this with the number pad. If you don't have the overlay and if you don't have a manual, you don't play baseball on the Arcadia. It just doesn't happen. What's kind of cool about this game compared to other baseball games is if there's a high ball hit in the outfield, it does a close-up view of the ball and you switch to a side view where you have to move your player to catch the ball. It's showing a screenshot, but hopefully we'll hit some fly balls in the game. You can see really, really nice touch to change the view to a side view. If there's no outfielder within range, there's no defending the team can do, and you have to move your outfielders. And you can see what it's like an out-of-range ball, and that'll be a home run if it goes too far. If you want to move your outfielders, you have to move them one at a time by holding down the right button on your controller. And then you go through all 9 innings to play and start a new game. And then they help us out with an operation flow diagram here. Nice if then else statements at the end. Yeah, right? I don't know if there's even a jump button in here. You just move left and right to catch the ball. All right, we're going to attempt to play some baseball on here at Emerson Arcadia 2001, the beginning of September 1982. We got to have both controllers in to play some baseball. So the first thing we're going to do is start us up. gosh. The first thing we want to do is turn that volume down. That was way too loud. I can't believe that the Arcadia was going to assail our ears with that. Now we're actually going to play. So up to this point, baseball has been few and far between. We've seen a few titles in the arcade that were kind of well done, but then we also had recently Major League Baseball on the television in September of 1980, and then New Baseball on the Epoch Cassette Vision in June of this year, and we've also seen World Series Baseball on the Apple II, Super Challenge Baseball on the Atari, which is like the Atari version of Major League Baseball on the Intellivision. So here we go, another game that you can play as baseball, but for a home console. Now, the first thing we have to do is be ready to bat, which is telling the pitcher we're ready. Ready? Okay, there we go. The batter says they're ready, and now the pitcher, if we want to throw a slow ball, there it is. And then after you're ready, after you pitch the ball, you have to say you're ready again. So I'm going to say I'm ready, and then pitch another one. And then the batter has to then I guess swing the bat afterwards. Right? So I say we're ready. Go ahead and pitch. Oh, and there we go. We got 3 strikes. So then we have our 1 out. You can see the stats down at the bottom of the screen. The garish part about this is the Intellivision looked a lot better. I mean, playing baseball on a giant white background, you know, like we're playing on milk, doesn't look so good. Yes, that's right. Have we seen that one? It'll be out in 1983. All right, let's do it again. My batting isn't working. Oh, there we go. That's why. Okay, I'm ready. I'm ready. Here we go. Yes, here it is. Side view. Catch the ball. Oh, you made it a home run. Look at that. So if the ball is headed toward any one of the outfielders, it switches to the side view, and all you got to do is move left and right for your character to go. Nice touch. All right, we're in again, and say we're ready. Go ahead and pitch, and hit it. He's going to try to catch this one. Oh, I missed that one. So then he goes to 1 base. Nice. Now, notice that the players aren't moving. The ball is sitting in the outfield. Watch what you got to do. You have to hold down what player. See, I have control of either one of the outfielders. You just hold down that button on your controller, and then you can move the outfielders and then toss it in. There you go. Nice. It will not work if you don't have the overlay and if you don't have the manual. Yes, I know, right? The rules of the game may be a little bit loose, but you got to admit this is a very, very nice simulation of baseball if you were familiar with the rules and wanted to use the hand controller. All right, let's go again. Nice. Okay, we got another one. Looking good. Sound really isn't doing much, but it's the amount of control you have over all the characters is kind of cool. Oh, missed that one. Let's do it again. Go. Nice. Throw it home. Okay, let's do it again. I also like the touch if you're playing with 2 people, which is ideal. That's what you need to do. That you say you're ready so the pitcher doesn't just throw whenever. As soon as the batter says they're ready or pushes the button, then the pitcher can throw the ball. All right, let's do it again. Yes, the sound is very, very loud. Apologies for the original when it booted up. It was way too loud. Going again. Yeah, too slow on that one. You got to be really fast. Yep, got it. The 3 strikes and they're out. It's red team versus green team. And then you get to see it. They all go off the field. Very cool. Yeah, the sound isn't doing any favors, but you got to admit, as far as baseball games go, baseball on the Arcadia 2001 is a cool experience. You'd have to be into baseball, and you'd have to also consider all the other baseball games we've seen thus far. I got to say, this one, if you had the overlay and the inlay, and this was a brand new baseball game, this is still above average for all the video games you could play. We said originally the Major League Baseball on the Intellivision, I gave that one 4 stars. This one's still all right. The sound of, you know, pitter-patter of feet on the field, you can just turn the volume down because you'd be plugged in RF to your television. Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, Major League Baseball on the Intellivision is the true winner. It's still the best baseball game so far. I'm seeing 3.5. Yeah, and yeah, I agree. It's a slight notch forward. Josh was going 3 stars. Yeah, well, I'm going to say 3.5 stars of all the games you could play thus far. Not as good as Major League Baseball, but we don't have as many options. But for something to play at home, it's pretty good. Yeah, 3 for the sound. Nice. I love the feature of switching up because I haven't seen any baseball games do that. So cool. All right, that's time to put our video game playing on pause. Tune in next episode where Data East allows us in the arcade to run people off the road. That's it for today, and like I always say, you don't have to be a donkey or King Kong to make a good video game. Hey everybody, thanks for checking out the channel and joining me on my quest to play every single video game in order of release. We'll be streaming live every weekday at 9 p.m. Central, so join us and let us know if we missed any games along the way. This video would not be possible without Launchbox, RetroArch, and MAME. Tell all your friends there's some crazy guy named Chronologically Gaming trying to play every single video game. We have links down below that'll send you to places like our Discord and Patreon, and one that says all the video games we've ever played. If you go there, it's a list of everything, and you can click right to the game you want to see. Chronologically Gaming is the name to look for. We are perpetually retro, and we will catch you next time.